What do you want me to do? Look at that or look at you?
No, look at us, look at us.
Okay.
So I said to the wife, I got another photo shoot on this morning. Yeah. A modelling agency's rung me again.
I'll buy coffee next time.
Plaited my hair last night, she said, oh, this will look good. So I said, nah, better not have the old plaits, you know.
I'm Don Mackey. I'm speaking to you in Patarangi. That's Prongia Mountain in the background. We've been here, the Mackey family have been here since 1870. I'm the fourth generation. As you can see, I'm an older fella.
Oh, my name's Glenn Townsend.
Oh, hi there, I'm Barry Townsend.
My name's Andrew McPherson.
I'm Evan Smith from Netherton Poro.
Ian McDonald.
Hi, I'm Greg Whiteman.
Oh, my name's Bruce Wallace, or most people around here call me Goose, so we'll stick with Goose, sounds more natural.
Hello, I'm Graham Martin. I live on Matuku Road, Morrinsville. I farmed on this farm for 17 years, and 2 years ago we had a change in our fertiliser companies and our fertiliser program. The main reason for that is I was a bit unhappy about what had been happening with our fertiliser program and felt that we weren't addressing some of the problems that we had well enough. So that was my main reason for looking at a different fertiliser company.
I think it's our second year with using TerraCare on the farm, and it's been a big change to the way we were doing our fertiliser. A lot less dependent on nitrogen, and I guess the idea is more to look after the plants better and develop that root structure. One of the issues we had that led us to change to TerraCare was that we were finding that, especially on our peat paddocks down here, you get a lot of pulling where the cows are pulling the plants out of the ground, and so it opens up the pastures, and we're doing a lot of regrassing and undersowing, especially when you had the dry summers. This year when we've had our dry summer, I've noticed that we had very little pulling, and I put that down to the root structure again being a bit deeper and you know, a bit more stable in the ground really.
We've had a much more clover. The nodules on our clover seem to be developing a lot more, and we've definitely got a lot more clover in our pasture than what we had 2 years ago.
Yeah, my name's Cam Parrott, and we've been farming here for 25 years probably. My father was here before me. Yeah, so we're sheep and beef farming, and dairy grazers. Yeah, animal health a lot better, definitely less time in the wool shed, dagging and all that. Nowadays we just dirty clean we don't not have dags, but we dirty clean them. And prior to that, we used to have to bloody dag the whole lot, and the cattle are definitely a lot have settled down, nowhere near as flighty and wound up as what they have been in past. I generally think we're growing more grass, and yeah, making more money hopefully. Yeah, well we are actually.
Hi, I'm Greg Whiteman, Paddy Tonga, and I've been farming, third generation farming here at Paddy on the farm, and it's half peat and half hills, and about 1975 I think it was, we started with reverted phosphate with Trevor Danks way back then. The pH is sitting over about 6.2 plus, that's what we like to keep it at that. So, and it's good, yeah, good for the environment up there, and good for the worms, and good for the clover, and good for the cows. And if it's good for the cows, it puts milk in the vat. So that's what it's all about.
Dairy farmer, been dairy farming for 35, 40 years. Milk about 350 cows, 300 odd acres. Yeah, and we're using TerraCare product. Used to use it 10, 15 years ago. The rep was Trevor Danks.
You decided to come back, what?
Yeah, well we had, all those seasons with droughts and things.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of were talking one day, and we said, well, when we had Trevor looking after us, we used to have grass. Yeah. So we thought we'll give it another shot, see if we can get some grass growing again.
Andrew McPherson, my wife and I, Michelle, we've shemmocked this place here for 9 years. We're in our 9th season, so next season is going to be our 10th season. In total I've been farming about 17 years. Prior to that I was a banker, worked for ANZ Bank, and then had a stint over in London working in the bank over there, and came home and decided to ditch the city life and become dairy farmers. Being able to feed the plant throughout the year, it's important as well. So yeah, the dicalcic fertiliser mixed with a bit of nitrogen throughout the year definitely helps. Yeah.
We've got 700 cows here, we've got 240 hectares, we've got probably 70% peat, which you can see behind us, and we go into some rolling mineral country. We started using TerraCare 5 years ago. They've been a fantastic company. The great thing with us is that they're really passionate about soils and soil life and growing pasture. And right from day one, when Richard came out, and he hopped over the fence, put a spade in the ground and had a look at the soil, and for us that was fantastic. I mean, we knew something wasn't right with our grasses and what we're growing, and we had a little bit of pulling and other issues, and he jumped the fence, had a look, and he explained to us what his product could do, what TerraCare could do to help us. And so that was 5 years ago. We've since reduced our reliance on nitrogen in terms of feeding grass all the time, which we were doing. We were regularly applying nitrogen to feed grass. We've got healthier soils, we've got more soil life, and Mike, who's our rep, he's been fantastic. He comes out and we've monitored the clovers and the ability to fix nitrogen, and we're certainly fixing more nitrogen, and our pastures are growing more grass. So it's been really great. The other thing is, even though the product's probably more expensive per tonne, we actually grow more grass, and from a farm business point of view, it's definitely been the right move. So it's been really good.
Yeah, hi, my name's Ian McDonald, farm 270 hectares of hill country at Tahuna, and we've gone dry, as you can see, but the quality of the product was good. The pilot, who I've used for years, said actually it's one of the best products he's ever flown, so which was good, and it did get a very even spread over the farm. Awesome. So yeah, I've got nothing to complain about. Tony organised the transport, yeah, and sort of one application, yeah, without having to try and turn around and do lime. And the other good thing with the TerraCare was it was very granulated, so my neighbours here weren't getting all my food if it's a bit windy. So no, it ticked all the boxes for me.
We're 140 hectares effective. We are 1,600 kgs per hectare, about 450 per cow, growing something like 17 to 18 tonne of dry matter per hectare per annum, which, as I say, about a level 4 input. That makes it pretty economic. Naturally, we're trying to achieve the best dollar return per hectare. You've got to get that balance right between input and what you can grow at home, and that's what sort of made us move in the direction of the slow release P, more efficient use of nitrogen. We believe that it was possible to grow 17 or 18 tonnes of dry matter per hectare per annum with grass. Maximum is 100 units of N, goes on, but as long as you put it on strategically and in the right form, we're not doing damage to the streams.
So I guess with using TerraCare, we've been it's obviously going to be a better fertiliser for the future, better on the environment, less impact. With their products, you get less leaching, so obviously being able to utilise the fertiliser better. So using less and growing more is what we're kind of looking for. So.
What I do is use my iometer, and we look at the results which come out of the vat every day, and you can see in the increase in production over the last 4 years, which are starting to prove its worth.
Just give you a bit of history on the farm. It's about 115 hectares or 285 acres. We went out of cows last year pretty much, so it's a mixed cropping operation now with silage, hay, maize. It was just feeling that we needed to fine tune, and so because I got on so well with Mike, I thought, well, this is the ideal opportunity to change and put in a whole sort of different approach. Mike's happy to call in for anything, have a few beers while we're doing it, make it enjoyable. And so we thought, oh, this will be interesting, we'll try the product on the maize, and got off to a great start, never faltered. I remember ringing Mike one day and saying, look, we've got a problem with this maize, and he goes, oh, what's wrong with it? I goes, well, it's too friggin' tall, you better come and, I can't see down the farm. So we ended up with a pretty good looking crop, even the guys that harvested it the other day said it's by far the best crop that they've harvested this year. When you hear the guys in the chopper saying that, it gives you pretty good sort of confidence that things are going in the right direction. The plants are up over the cab of the chopper, so for that to happen, it's got to be a pretty good sort of crop.
We had an amazing year this year for our maize crop. The first time that we've used TerraCare fertiliser in our maize, and we usually have one of the best maize crops in our district, and our contractor was quite concerned about us making a change because what we were already doing was doing pretty good for our maize crops, but we definitely had an increase in our maize crop this year.
We did these paddocks over here for maize, and we got a really good response using the TerraCare fertiliser. We yielded 30.4, which is the best I've done in the 5 years that we've been doing maize, and that was at 34% dry matter, so it was near on the perfect crop really.
And in comparison to the neighbourhood?
Well, we're usually one of the best around here. We're usually about second or third best, but this year this crop is the best crop that I've heard of so far. So.
When you're running a business, you want good people around you, and Mike's part of that. And also, and Dad's always taught me that. When you run a business, you want good people around you.
With them, they send you in the right direction, and they've got a lot of expertise behind them to help us, to help the farmer in the right directions.
I don't agree with that.
They're good buggers to deal with too. Yeah. It's nice to deal with. It's nice to deal with friendly people.
The other really positive thing is that they're a great team to deal with, right from Ian in the store to Tricia in the office and Mike, who's our rep, who's fantastic, and Carl and Arthur. So it's been a really good team to deal with, and we really appreciate it. So yeah, it's definitely added value to our business.
Got pretty tired of the old same old every year from the bigger companies that they do your FERT report off their computer from what you did last year.
Correct.
Whereas you used to get, a yearly visit from the rep, and they'd walk the farm with you, and that just seemed to go out the window about 5 or 6 years ago, to be honest. And so you put reps on the ground like Mike that can sort of get around and spend time to do that. I think it makes a huge difference.